Welcome to Healing Hearts Journey. My name is Olanireti Comfort Adedugbe. I am your host on mental health matters. As usual, we want to talk about things that can help us have good mental health. Hence, today we want to be talking about anger. We want to talk about what's the meaning of anger, the danger, and the management. So when we are talking of anger, I want us to first look at what anger is, but let's start from this point of view. We all know what anger is, and we have all felt it. There is nobody on the surface of the earth that doesn't get angry, whether as a fleeting annoyance or whether full-fledged rage, when you are living with rage and all that. Everyone has experienced what anger, the feeling of anger, which is an emotional feeling. So what is anger? It is an emotional state that varies in intensity. That is, some people will manifest anger, oh God, it will be so violent. So it varies in intensity. From mild irritation to intense fury and rage. So it is completely normal. When I ask people, is anger good? Some will say it's not good. Anger is not good. Meanwhile, every human being has this feeling of anger. Every one of us has this feeling. So it is normal for us to feel angry, to feel angry. It is normal for us. It is completely normal, and it is usually healthy because it is human emotion. But when it gets out of control and turns destructive, when you are angry and you can pull the house down, you are angry, you are destroying things in the house, you are beating people to death, you are causing people pains and agony, then it can lead to problems at work, problems in your relationship with people, even in marriage, and the overall quality of your life. When you are full of anger always, it will affect your life. Anger is very common response to frustration or threatening experiences. Because anger, to me, I say anger is an emotional inbuilt, it's there. But one way or the other, some things, always trigger this feeling of anger. It can also be a secondary response to uncontrolled sadness. When you're always sad, when situations around you are causing you to be sad, when you are lonely, sometimes the anger will just come. You don't know where it's coming from. You wake up and you just begin to, feeling frustrated, and you are behaving with this kind of hostility. All the people around know something is wrong with you, and they now say, oh, you woke up at the wrong side of the bed. So all this can come as a result of loneliness, or when you have fear. There's fear in you as a result of something has happened to you, and you feel this fear. And when you feel this fear, you begin to see that little thing can trigger this anger, and you begin to manifest this anger. And if care is not taken, if you respond, if you react to this anger, then you say destructively, then that means that anger is no longer good. What I'm trying to say there is that there are some things that are inbuilt. Sometimes somebody provoke you. Maybe your subordinate in the work, your boss, or anybody around you provoke you. You find out that 10% of your reaction is born out of that provocation, but 90% is born out of what is coming inside of you. What is the situation that happened shortly before that provocation? Have you been feeling lonely? You have been thinking of how you want to eat the next meal, and somebody just come around and do little thing, you find out that you just trigger the anger. So most times it's not the provocation that made you to react in a way that you will regret later, but what was happening or was going on inside of you. When you suppress or when you store anger, it can have a damaging and lasting impact. So we are not saying you should flee, we are not saying you should fly, I mean, so because we respond differently to things, you know, especially anger or emotions, you know. Some people will just move away, they will keep quiet, they will be suppressing it. When you suppress anger, it is not good, it has damaging impact. And when you are just storing it, you are just storing the anger, when it gets accumulates, you just explode. And that kind of anger, that reaction, you might not be able to correct it till the end of your day. So it's better for you to express anger, but express it, respond to it normally, control it. All right, there's this publication last year in the journal of this American College of Cardiology, you know, that said that they found evidence of a link between emotions and heart disease. If you can't control your emotions, if you are not calm, if there is no peace around you and inside of you, all these things, you know, can cause heart disease. So that's one of the major causes and dangers of uncontrolled anger. Another thing that it can do is that it fuels depression. Some researchers have found that irritability and anger in these patients were associated with significantly more severe depression and longer lasting depression. So anger can fuel depression. It's just the fuel. When you are continuously angry, what it will just end in depression. So anger can cause depression and can lead to depression. Is the last result of continuous anger that cannot be controlled. Anger also slows the body's healing process. When you continuously get angry without control, then it will slow down your healing process, even if you are taking drug, because your mind is sick. Because when you are angry, you can't control your anger. You are always filled with anger. Every little thing triggers anger in you. Then there is nothing, your physical body will not be okay. And even when you are on medication, it will slow down your healing process. Because a cheerful heart is good medicine. When your mind is good, you know, you are happy, you are feeling happy, you are feeling lifted, you are just there. Then before you take any medication, it will work for you. So it slows down our healing process. So the result indicated that individuals who had trouble controlling expression of anger were 4 times more likely to need more than 4 days for their wounds to heal. So even in that's the physical, that's true. You can go ahead and practice it, that when you are happy, everything you put in your body, your medication, even if it is physical wound, it will radiate. It's a medicine on its own. When you're always cheerful and happy, it's a medicine on its own. So it heals faster than people that are always angry and that are not always happy. So in other words, it is good for us to master our anger and know how to control it whenever we are angry. So I am just saying all this so that we know that we need to control our anger. So I want to go through some questions to us now, and I want us to answer it individually in our various homes. That is, how do we deal with anger? Ask yourself this following question, and please write down your sincere answer, whether it is true or false. Then after that, you will know if you need to work on your trigger, or your anger, your emotion, then your response or your reaction to anger. When you are upset, I often blot out things which I later regret saying. So is your answer true or false? You can't control your anger, you are just saying things and later you regret it. Is your answer true? Then put it down. I've had trouble on the job because of my temper. You are not temper. Your temper is so bad in your place of work. How do you relate that? What happened as a result of that temper? So if you're always finding yourself in trouble because of your temper in your office, please write it down. Is it true or false? Then people say that I fly off the handle easily. When things don't go my way, I lose it. I still get angry when I think of the bad things people did to me in the past. you are carrying baggage. Is it true of us? I find it very hard to forgive someone who has treated me badly. No, I can't forgive. It's still there. And when you have this feeling, you still have this feeling, you can't forgive them. It's the number one trigger for anger, for uncontrolled anger or uncontrolled emotions when you are angry. I often find myself engaged in heated arguments with the people who are close to me. You can argue. Do you argue? Put your true or your false down. At times I've felt angry enough to kill. I feel like I've felt something that I was livid with rage. So some people, when they're angry like this, they will be shaking. They will be shaking. They will be vibrating. You can imagine how can you encounter that and you will come out of that kind of thing and you will be normal again. You have caused damage to that body. So some people are like that. When they get angry like this, they feel like killing people. They just want to avenge. They want to revenge. They want that person has offended them. They want to kill that person back. They want to make sure that that person is no longer alive. Do you feel that way? When I get angry, frustrated or hot, I comfort myself by eating. Your own is to freeze. You just freeze, or you fly, or you just fly. You flee away from that particular scenario, that anger. You are suppressing it. I said it earlier that it's very dangerous to your emotional, your life and your emotional feeling. You are not eating, but you are using alcohol. You are not using alcohol. You are using you are using drugs to calm down your anger. Are you doing these things that you shouldn't do? Or when you get angry with yourself, I get angry with myself when lose control of my emotion. When you react and you overreacted, you now come back and you begin to regret, you begin to blame yourself, you feel guilty, terrible guilt inside of you. So all these questions I want us to answer. I am apt to take frustration so badly that I cannot put it out of my. You can't put it out. I've been so angry at times I couldn't remember what I said or did. I just say, did I say that? Sometimes feel so hot and alone that I've thought about killing myself. That's what anger can do. You answer yourself. Some people are afraid of my bad temper. Everybody have become like that, It's because when you get angry, it's so violent. I've become so angry at times that I've become physically violent, hitting other people or breaking things. Have you been experiencing that? Put your true or false down. When someone hurts me, I want to get even. People I've trusted have often let me down, leaving me feeling angry or betrayed. All these questions I want you to answer. So if eventually you have 5 true, then your anger feeling are at average level. However, it might be beneficial learning some anger management and relaxation techniques that will help you, manage your anger. There are some things that you need to do if you really want to manage your anger. When you are getting angry, you are feeling angry, what can you do? Number one thing is that you can calm down at that time. You can talk to yourself. Sometimes what we give the therapy to people that has anger issues, that when at provocation, what do? Silently count 1 to 6. Breathe in, breathe out at that provocation. Then walk away from that place. Then in that period of silence, you are thinking of what to do, whether to react or to respond. There is a difference between reaction and response. When you react, there is nothing you can do that you can reverse back, because reaction will even add to the problem. So calming down at any provocation can help us. So what is anger management in general? Anger management involves identifying the source of trigger. What are the sources of your trigger for your anger? Is it you don't have money, economic turn down, the prices of things are up and all that? Is that what triggers you? When you identify the source of your trigger, then you can walk away. You can walk around those things that triggers your anger. When you know that this thing triggers my anger, then you know how to handle that thing. Okay, I know that each time I see anyone wearing black, it triggers my anger. I always feel angry. Then I know that, okay, I will know how to work on myself, that anytime I see anybody in black, I will be able to calm myself down. You have trained yourself that, okay, black color always triggers my anger. Then you learn about it. You prepare yourself that, okay, when this trigger comes, I know what to do. So when you identify the source of your trigger or your anger, and when you develop positive coping strategies, when you develop treatment options, that is for people that are into anger issues, serious anger issues. Name your anger and tame it, and that is how you can identify things that triggers your emotion. Another thing that I've said earlier is to calm down. There's what we call calmness. Calmness is very good when you are angry. Just calm down. Just tell yourself calm down. Then another thing you can do is to speak to the feeling. You are feeling sad, then you speak to the feeling. Why am I sad? At least you just redress the situation immediately. When you redress the situation, you'll be able to work on the anger. And you must always know that anger is good. It's an emotional feeling that is very normal to human being, but the way you handle it matters. It's either the way, if you cannot control your anger, it's either it destroys one's life, one purpose, one productivity, and so on and so forth. And if you are able to control it, you can manage it, you identify the trigger, you can talk to your anger, you can do one or two things about your anger, because it's normal. And you can come up with peace. When you are feeling angry, you can build peace. Inner peace can be your portion. So when you have all these things, you know that you can manage your anger. So I'm going to conclude by telling us that anger is normal. It's a normal emotional feelings, but you must learn how to control it at any point in time. Anger must be expressed, but fully controlled. Thank you for listening. I'm going to conclude here. In the next video, we are going to be talking about emotions, and generally then we are going to talk about how you can stop yelling and shouting when you are angry. That will be our next video. Please, if you have benefited in one way or the other in this video, kindly like, kindly share, kindly comment, and tell other people about it, and let other people benefit from it. Thank you for watching. See you in our next video. Thank you.